Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so unfortunately for me, the Stadium map is now playable in Battlefield 2042, and I say unfortunately because I just have to be honest, I really don't like this map. Okay, I just don't like it. It's not a good map. But don't worry, we're going to be going over why and my experience and all that sort of stuff, and I want to know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And if you didn't know, I now stream on YouTube as well as Twitch every single day. So if you have not been watching the streams and you want me to stream on YouTube, I now stream on YouTube. Be sure to hit the notifications so you know when I'm live. As far as this brand new Stadium map, if you watched the stream, you already know what this video is going to be about because I really genuinely do not like this Stadium map. I already was skeptical about how I would enjoy it just because of the layout and how things looked from above, but those suspicions were confirmed when I got in there. And upon spawning on the map for the very first time, I simply ran to the left on Conquest, and I was immediately shot by the other team that spawned 300 meters directly in front of me. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, if you play Conquest, you can actually spawn, peek the center of the stadium where all the sand is, and then shoot at the enemy team from the start of the game. So, you know, that's just some classic DICE design right there. And while I'm on the topic of the left side of the map, let's talk about that left side of the map. What I mean by the left side of the map is the bleachers, or the interior where the sand is sort of flooded inside, covering the field. The bleacher side of this map, particularly on Conquest, is absolutely hellish to deal with. First of all, you get stuck on the stairs and you die sometimes because of that. So whoever's doing the terrain on that, they didn't do a very good job in making sure you don't get stuck on things, even though the entire thing's made of stairs. Then to make it even worse, if you climb all the way up to the very top of the bleachers, you can sit there and camp and then to shoot anyone that runs out of their spawn. And then, to make matters even worse, there are, I don't know, if I had to guess off the top of my head, 8 to 15 separate entrances leading in from the bleachers into the interior hallways. So if you're someone that's worried about getting flanked, don't play this map, because you're going to be paranoid. You're going to have nightmares about getting flanked on this map. Then moving, I guess, left to right, still staying in the stadium, the hallway portions of the interior of the stadium. First of all, there are 4 or 3 floors. There's a bunch of floors, okay? Tons upon tons of verticality, all stacked on top of each other, and it's all just in a crowded hallway format with zip lines and staircases and ramps all thrown in, boxes everywhere, corners everywhere, and it just generally feels like it's all just thrown together very lazily and quickly. And overall, the gameplay experience on this map for me was me freaking out and looking around in a bunch of separate corners and locations, worried about getting flanked, worried about getting shot in the side, and that's generally what happened. There were very few times where I felt like I actually, knew what was going on, and that's because the nature of this map is utter random chaos when you're in the stadium, and it generally just feels really bad to play. In my opinion, at least with what I played today, I don't think this stadium map plays very well on Breakthrough at all. However, I think the interior portion of the stadium, for some reason, plays better on Breakthrough than Conquest. I think when you play Conquest, a lot of the times, it's just a bunch of people everywhere, whereas Breakthrough, it's a little more linear and controlled. But with that being said, the Breakthrough experience on this map is brutal for both sides, at least in the first sector. In my opinion, the first sector of this map is some of the most brutal combat you can ever experience in Battlefield 2042 for both sides. The attackers have a struggle of a push towards the center point, and the defenders have a struggle of an experience actually defending it because the attackers have height on them the entire time. So they're getting shot from so many angles. While I was playing the first sector on Breakthrough on my stream, I made the comparison that the first sector of this map is sort of like watching two boxers step in the center of the ring and just try to exchange as many blows as possible without taking a single step back. They're in the pocket trading. That is exactly what this sector is, and it's fucking brutal. As far as the second sector is concerned on breakthrough, you sort of push into the sandbag area, and that is, I think, sort of the best sector on this map. And keep in mind, best meaning like 4 out of 10, guys, okay? Then the third sector, after you get past the sandbag sector, is a sector where you sort of push in to the stadium itself, and then there are points within the stadium you take. Again, I think the stadium plays a little better on breakthrough because it's more controlled. Now, in terms of how this map plays on Conquest, I mentioned right at the beginning of the game, you can simply spawn and then run to the left where the bleachers are and immediately shoot at the enemy team. That is hilarious in my opinion. And then because you're playing Conquest, everyone is running around with their heads cut off. People are on the bottom floor, the first floor, the second floor, and the third floor, and then there are people sitting on top of the bleachers. There are people sitting every corner, every ramp, every zip line, and it's generally just a hellish experience, guys. Funnily enough, I actually mentioned that people would be ignoring the outside flags on this map, and while I was partially right, I was surprised at how many people actually were fighting outside. And to my absolute shock, in my opinion, on Conquest at least, some of the outside flags, particularly the one in front of the stadium and the one way out in the square by the sand dunes, I think they actually play fairly well on Conquest. And the reason I think that is, and I've always said this, I think Battlefield 2042, when it's at its best, plays its best on sort of outdoor, hilly locations. And that is exactly what you have on the outskirts of the stadium with the sand dunes and all of these sort of grassy outcroppings. So in terms of my overall thoughts on the stadium map, generally speaking, guys, and this might shock some of you, this might very well be in my bottom 3 2042 maps. I really don't like it, okay? This map pissed me off more than any map that is released for Battlefield 2042 in a very long time. And maybe it's just because of my personal playstyle. Generally speaking, this map brings out the rattiest of the rats. There are spawn beacons everywhere. There are tugs spotting you in every single corner. There are shotguns in every corner. There's someone standing on some sort of cardboard box angle that you can't figure out in every flag. And just when you think you break through and you have that flank, guess what? There's some angle somewhere that you could have never predicted that you get shot in the back from, and generally speaking, I'm not a huge fan. So my closing thoughts about this map is that it's basically just a piece of shit, and it's a 4 out of 10 map. Alright, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I stream on YouTube and Twitch every single day at twitch.tv/enders and youtube.com right here where you're watching this video. Be sure to turn notifications on so you don't miss a stream or an upload, and join my Discord. All links to all my socials are in the description, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Enemy is down! Need a second